Bev was pregnant with our first child and had just entered her 6th month. We'd driven 5 hours back to our home in Cambridge and just started to unpack when her water broke. When I called the doctor, he said it was very serious. At the hospital, I asked about the chances of survival for the baby. Neither these statistics nor the medical attitude were very hopeful. After a week of hospitalization, Bev had an emergency cesarean and delivered a 1-pound, 11-ounce baby. Because I had difficulty getting information about this problem, and as a means of coping personally with it, I started to record some of our experiences on film. In the labor room, we were told that a 6-month-old fetus had approximately a 10% chance of survival and 1% chance of survival without complications. 30 years ago, Bev's younger sister had also been born 3 months premature. She is blind and brain damaged.
.30, 1:24 a.m. The child's days and 17 hours.
Okay, so how long are you going to keep this baby?
Till tomorrow, to the culture negative at 72 hours.
It's getting green now. This is the tendency, transitional. Yeah, he's paying attention. Your mom's been paying attention, hasn't she? I'm sorry. No. You have a birth layer? I bet you do, because you've had one. Those are the no, I'm even a little more aggressive than that. Yeah. I bet you have one, because you've had a birth 2 other times. Huh. Oh, Graham. Say hi, Daddy. I want to make some really good faces.
It just came. Like, they didn't want to try and stall it, or, I mean, you know what I mean. So they thought maybe I was just leaking there for about a week before she came, and then I went into labor, and she just, they didn't want to stop it. And we're not too hopeful that she'd live, but she did.
She's all right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Is she home yet?
No, she won't come home till November. You know how little they are at that age? Oh, they're teeny teenies.
Did they let you feed her with a bottle?
Well, she's just got the sucking response. See, she was so premature, she didn't even have that.
Sweetie, how do they feed her?
Well, they stick a tube down her throat.
Oh, Beth.
Oh, but it's all right. What?
It's so hard having her in the hospital.
Well, it's hard, but we're so thankful that she's living. I mean, they're yes, it is hard. It is really hard.
Yeah. Here we go with some fish stuff. Well, babies can't, get rid of whatever mucus is in the back of their throat, so they swallow it, obviously. Don't make it cry either. I'm talking about professional help around here. Oh, look at you. You can hold it, but you can't pull it out yet. You can hold it, but you can't pull it out yet. Oh, you will pull it.
It's hard to leave him back there.
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, it's harder, too.
I mean, it gets harder and harder, because you do have a relationship.
Mary?
Yes.
Hi, this is Mary Pat.
Hi.
Mary's had a good night. She had no spells all night, but this morning since I've been here, she's had about one bad one.
She has what spells?
She's had a bad spell this morning.
What kind of spell?
Well, she stopped breathing, her heart rate went down, and she got a little dusky.
Apnea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did she have them last night, you said?
No, at night she didn't have any.
Oh,
at all. But since 7, she's had like 1.
Okay. But tell me, now, so how long did she stop breathing for?
Oh, just for a short time.
Okay.
Nothing. You know, we were right there. I was right there.
So
it's nothing a long period or anything.
Yeah, nothing. There's no harm done to her.
Oh, that's not why you put the thing around her head. That was from the lights, right? That was lights. Because she gets stressed by it. That's the thing. That's the concept that was new to us. Which was that they're stressed. You know, they burn up all their. She was burning up all her calories from the stress of light and the stress of noise and the stress of putting in the IVs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. And those little veins are so small that you put an IV in. Can you imagine even trying to get one in? You put
What
one
do you
in.
have to do? Is find like veins every day? Find a new one?
Yeah, in her head. The biggest ones were in her head. That's why she has this little.
Yeah.
That's infiltrated. That's what
One
happens.
that burst or
They burst
really?
every 24 hours. The vein gets overloaded, and when it bursts, then they do a new one, and it gets all swollen. One day we went in, and her hand was like a baseball mitt with blood. Oh,
Really? And that would happen every day, 24 hours at a new spot? Were they legs too? Were they
everywhere. Feet, limbs. No, end of the limbs. Here and feet and head.
Because the veins are the largest, they're the most prominent.
And the biggest ones are in her head.
And what other,
And they
she
have to
had
just keep checking them to see when it starts to infiltrate. And if they catch it right away, then it's not bad. But
who's going to
otherwise,
be standing there watching it, right?
well,
Or do they do that?
They do, but sometimes they can, you know, one baby. He's yawning. He's not crying.
Right.
That was yawning. He loves you.
And Harry is also growing creamy.
What's her weight again?
Weight today is 1830, which was the same, was 1280 the day before, excuse me, 1780 the day before, so it's up 50, taking by yellow nipple every 3 hours well. Gaining weight seems fine.
I'm here.
115.
115, isn't that great?
Isn't that great?
Yes, because she was 6.5?
She was, what was she?
She was 111 and a half when she was born.
Oh, sure. But then she lost weight.
Then she lost, I think she went down 1 ounce.
Wow.
We just got Mary Blair's weight chart. That's fascinating.
And she sat at the same weight for so long.
You could almost call it photography therapy, because he's shot so much of Blair that I have it right there in that room, and it's if the parent has a lot of photographs of the child, you really feel that much closer because one photograph.
That's okay. This is David Parry. I'd like to find out how Blair is this morning, please. Do you want to hold on for 1 second? Sure.
Good morning, Mr. Perry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How's Blair? How is she?
She's not great. I mean, she's okay. She looks great. The only problem she's having is with her feeding. She's just not tolerating them very well.
She's not tolerating her feeding.
No. So she had a little bit of a setback at nighttime because she had to miss a few feedings because her belly got a little distended. And this is not common, but it's not unexpected either in a baby this small. You just can expect that they're going to have a long time.
Special Care Nursery Secretary.
Yes, this is David Parry calling. Can I find out how Blair is this morning?
Sure, just a minute, please. Hi, this is Ellen.
Hi, Ellen.
Let's see. Bree has not started to eat yet. We're still keeping her NPO. Nothing.
Do you know how much more that is from yesterday?
Well, yesterday she was 210 1/4, and today she's 211 1/4, so she's about an ounce. Hello, David.
Yes?
It's Sandy O'Reilly. How are you?
Hi, Sandy. I'm fine. How's Blair?
She's fine, and everybody's different, and she's doing so well every other way possible that this is the only problem she has. She's really lucky.
Oh, I can't stand it. Look at this. Hello, girl, you graduated. You graduated to a crib. Oh. Hi. Hi. You waking up? You hungry? You want to eat some? Oh. Kathy, I thought she was going to go into a mock crib.
until they did it at 3 o'clock.
Did you know about this all day long? And you didn't tell me.
I did.
You want to wake up and take a bottle? Want to wake up? You hungry? Wow. There. Let's get your hands out. You got any hands? Well, you graduated. You graduated. You made 4 pounds today. You're a big girl. You're a big girl. You're a big girl. Hello, darling. Hello. 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 Yes. Let's move you down. You're in a crib. You're in a crib. You made it.
Yeah, all our graduates. Sometimes coming out in drafts.
Yeah.
That she can kind of get a little bit further. Well, we put her at the end just so that we can see her a little bit better now that she's gone to the transition going into a crib, just so we can kind of keep a closer eye. But she's maintained, that's why they put her in a crib so soon. Usually they do it for, we were saying 24 hours before. But,
And they call it a mock crib?
mock crib, they just do this, shut the electricity off, shut the heat off, and put her like she'd be in a regular crib, and just watch her temperature to make sure she's going to do it well. And the thing is they did it, and she maintained her temperature beautifully, very high, for being in a mock crib for about 6 hours. So at 3 o'clock, she graduated. Big ceremonies, yeah, big time.
Oh, you little monkey. You little monkey. Oh, I love it.
So now her next steps to graduate are going to be to, she'll probably go, my guess would be with a 4-hour schedule, maybe about 2 more days. Because she's so big. Once the baby gets to about 4.2, 4.3, their stomachs can handle it. Which means she'll be home by 10 days. 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks. Just to make sure.
Yeah.
Once she gets up to that about 4 pounds, 10 ounces or so.
Better move this out. Okay, now I'm going to put the crib back over. Oh, yay. How about it? You like it?
I love it.
Oh. Aha. Oh, finally. That's it. Women. You're gonna eat mommy. You're gonna eat mommy's nose. Oh no! You're gonna bite mommy's nose. You're gonna bite mommy's nose. You're gonna bite mommy's
Gonna bite Mommy's. Oh, almost took it off that time. You almost took it off. Mwah. How about me? Can I have a kiss? I've been doing all the kissing. Can I have one? Can I? A kiss? Just a little kiss. A little one. All right. Enough of this kissing stuff, Mom. Enough of this kissing stuff. Enough of this kissing stuff, Mom. Goodness. That little tongue. Do you know that that's a tongue? Head, eye, nose, and mouth. Yay! Oh, we're such a squealer these days. Head, eye, nose, ear, and mouth.
Well, I was always amazed when Bill Salmon said, "You are such a paradigm of couples who handled this crisis so well." And I always felt like, why is he saying that? I didn't handle anything, and I don't feel it's that much of a crisis. And I wasn't really doing, it was a crisis because I wasn't allowing myself to do any soul searching about it. I was just proceeding day to day. And it's not been till, well, a lot of psychological distance from the crisis that I've been able to see that it was my own sister's prematurity that made me accept it as the norm, which is pretty unusual. And your mother had a completely, it'd be interesting to compare your mother to my mother's reaction, because your mother, as sympathetic as she could be, was still very afraid of brain damage and wasn't sure the baby would live, and abnormalities of intelligence, all kinds of things. And to my mother, if I had had that role model, I probably would have treated Blair a lot different, because I would have said, ooh, delivered this not unnatural, but abnormal child, and that would have gotten in the way of my...
Well, that's why we didn't let anyone call you while you were in the hospital. I mean...
But even so, I mean, I think it's... I didn't even have to have had my mother there, but I had the role model before of acceptance, so that was, I'm sure, a big thing in accepting Blair. But I had your mother, I would have felt guilty, and I felt guilty enough as it is already, and having explored that whole world, even yet, why did she come early? What did I do wrong and all that? Beyond the superficial exploration, but it would have been a lot different. I'm sure our relationship would have been different. And I was just very blasé about it in the beginning. Well, because I did have a role model, I guess, and I couldn't understand how anybody would think it was such a big deal, such a big crisis.
But Mary Blair was, I mean, how do you develop a role model from Mary Blair growing up and being brain damaged? And
because it was a different time, and because they knew exactly what was doing it, and the machinery is different, and the reasons are different, and, I mean, they know a lot more now. So that once she was over, to me it was never a question of brain, fear of brain damage, blindness, or anything like that, even though we might have a lot down the road to deal with in terms of little things.
Learning disabilities.
Yeah, we're all learning disabled, all of us. But I mean, the cross-eyed business that they told us to watch out for. I mean, there are no big things like my sister, and I just had, I guess, a great faith in technology. I don't know what I had faith in. It was completely blind, whatever it was. I just knew it would be all right. And you did too, and that's amazing because you had a different role model. You had a role model who's, everything comes down to intelligence, it seems, in your family, not to be wrong, but If you don't have the smarts, you're a real idiot. You're the opposite. So that having a child who might have something wrong upstairs, I would think must have been a real blow for you, and you were the one who deserves most of the credit, because with a different kind of role model, you just, carried on. And it wasn't a crisis. There were crisis moments, but it doesn't pervade your relationship to the child and make you part of that statistic that, that high child neglect, child abuse statistic that there is. So I think you're the one who's really pretty amazing. I didn't see it when I was looking through it, Mom.
Oh dear, David, I can't find them.
That's all right.
Oh, she weighed 2 pounds at birth, and 3 days later she weighed 1 pound. She went down to 1 pound. And a week later she was 1 pound and 6 ounces, and then she started building back. She came home the end of May. She was due the end of May, and she was born the 12th of February.
Yeah.
So that was amazing.
And what did they say the reason for it?
Because the placenta surrounding her kept attaching the scar of Bevy's cesarean scar from when I had Bev.
Mm-hmm.
But you did ask me how I felt when I heard that Bev had had the same tiny baby, and it just went through me like an arrow. It couldn't happen twice in one family.
Mm.
And it's very, very, very rare, nothing to do with what Bevy had. And, they say I've forgotten how many, 100,000. They never see it.
Mm.
Never saw it. And of course, you think of the eyes.
Mom.
Mm-hmm. Mom. Mary Blair also had the brain damage.
But I didn't know that, whether little Blair would stop breathing for a length of time either. Except I guess they never would have
They
tried
have
to
these
bring her back.
monitor alarms now.
How did they come to
know about
give Mary Blair so much oxygen? I mean, why?
Oh, that was the standard procedure.
To give them all that oxygen?
To give them oxygen, yes. They started in her isolette that were pumping in $40 of oxygen a day. An hour, I guess it was. Oxygen, and my word, they just were pumping it in and in, and that they were so proud that they'd learned how to keep these little early babies alive. Wow. And it wasn't until she was 6 years old that they traced the fact that it was oxygen that had destroyed the retinas.
Wow.
They'd been trying everything. They thought it was lack of vitamin E. They gave her all this vitamin E. And the ATCH was supposed to be the last word. And then that failed. And one day they called us and said, there's nothing more we can do. I'll never forget that day.
Really?
Come and get her.
There's nothing more we can do?
Nothing more we can do. They tried everything, and their eyesight had gone so much. There was nothing left. Just a little pinprick.
Oh.
They just watched it go, 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 go.
They did? Oh, my. So you knew when she went home that she was
blind. I can remember driving down to Bridgeton, and it was late in the afternoon. The sun was setting, and I suddenly realized she'd never see a sunset.
Oh, my God.
And I just burst into tears. That was the most emotional I've been. I've been so brave up until then. Oh, that light's too bright. It's too bright. But anyway, babies in England were having this problem all over. They couldn't trace why.
They have pictures of her, though.
Charles, one of those. You know Ray Charles? Or Mary McPartland? Remember her? Just a Mary McPartland. I love that. Will you?
I will.
Okay, or Don Shirley? Which one? What about Don Shirley? When you say, did she want to play, you can tell she didn't want to play, because if she did, it's so spirited and so full of pep and it's so, just so exciting. She was just being polite then. She was just doing what she thought you wanted her to do.
But that's how she usually plays stuff for everyone, isn't it?
Well, she feels a little bit exploited. When she really plays, her head goes like Ray Charles and she carries on, she's in another world. She really is. She's spirited, excited, and her music is divine. That was not, that was just Mary Blair trying to please people. Hardly her music.
Blair has made it to 72 hours, and there is general relief around the nursery that she will make it. See, I started writing this diary thinking that maybe this might help somebody sometime. I was allowed to hold her for the first time. This is Wednesday. This is the 24th of August. That means that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's 4 days later. The IV was now in an arm, and the arm was pinned down to the sheet because she kept moving it so vigorously. Our fingers are crossed that she can keep quarter-strength milk down. I really didn't feel like I had cried until I saw those photographs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 1.5 years later. And then it all came pouring out. All the anxiety. Blair seems much better today. She's developing a whole repertoire of facial expressions. She developed an ooh, a smile, a frown, an ouch, an oh, a sucking, and a suckle swallow, and a yawn. Today we also heard the tiniest sneeze in response to the heat lights. See, this is all about her development. Not about us and how we're dealing with it.
I don't remember her behavior in this a lot.
I do. Why?
Really?
The kicking. Remember that?
Totally blocked out.
I think, looking back on it for my part, I think that's a bunch of baloney.
Mm.
I think the fact that she looks so beautiful to us at the time is just instinct taking over. Totally taking over any kind of higher cognitive craft that you might have amassed in your adult life. You know what I mean? Looking now at her, she looks grotesque.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought of her as beautiful. And I can't believe the first page says, "What a miracle. I remember being stunned that I had actually carried such a gorgeous child for the last 6 months." Just the development and all that. I wasn't dealing with my feelings about it. There's no mention of my trouble with the breast pump. There's no mention of how hard it is to put her back in the isolate. There's no mention of any of that stuff. But looking at the pictures, didn't she look grotesque? Didn't that look grotesque to you? Some of those positions? Now I can understand Franny's reaction.
Blair's development path was irregular and unlike any of her peers, lagging behind some children 3 months younger. We thought we had an enlightened attitude towards this, but I would often catch myself making excuses for her performance. She had great spirit. We were proud of her good nature. Not less than 2 months after Blair had come home from the hospital, we learned that Bev was pregnant again. The logical thing seemed to be to have an abortion.
Bev's first contact with the professional world was through a nurse practitioner who said to Bev, "How can you possibly entertain the thought of an abortion after what you have been through?" And put out a lot of religious views on her.
Yep.
Put Bev into orbit. And got into this whole biological thing about not being able to have babies in the future. And I called Dr. Ginsburg and said, "What the is this all about?"
Yep.
And Dr. Ginsburg said no biological evidence to support that theory. There's a lot of new research coming out, but suturing can tried to be as supportive as I can on an emotional issue, but the fact is that she knows that I want the child. So, and it's hard for me to hide that, you know, and yet I'm being supportive to her, and we've set up an appointment for an abortion, and I don't want her to go through with it.
I'm sure it's very difficult because it's a very, very complex issue for anybody, let alone having just had a premature child and having gone through that long, arduous adjustment period.
An absurd decision based on not clear thinking. I don't want to dig it up, honey. I am so exhausted. Well, I hit an exhaustion point. You are different. You see, you can talk things, pick them apart. You can, you know, it's perseverative almost. You can do this till the cows come home. I have reached a limit, and I can't do it anymore. I'm just I wanted space today after this long phone call. I mean, I have been crying for 3 weeks. And I want to be confident going into this thing. I don't want to have doubt. And I don't want to stir this up again. I have some confidence, and you're just tearing it down. It's totally unsupportive because you want it for the record. Why don't you turn it off?
It's not so much for the record. It's important for me to record it only for us. It's not important for me to...
I can see if you recorded it last night when we were right in the middle, but now there has been some resolve, and I have got to start building up on the other side so I can face this thing on Friday. And don't you see that?
I see that. I see, I'll shut it off.
Well, you can leave it running, just don't ask these kinds of questions in the kind of tone you were right back 3 weeks ago where you were before. It's the same thing over and over again. You are still feeling the way you felt, and you're not...
No, I don't feel that way anymore.
Well, honey, you were just talking about the financial. As if it's totally my selfish Emmanuel thing.
It's not Emmanuel, listen.
It's not. That is the symbol of it all.
No, because I don't think that I don't think that it's that much of a security issue.
I'm telling you it is a security issue.
It is.
I know. I was going to call up the COPE people.
We should have.
Because apparently they talk about that happens all the time. And how different people work it out. But I have a feeling it's a hip-swinging, career girls who have no room for, any kind of spiritual reconciling the way I have had. Well, maybe that's an assumption, but I just don't think, Cambridge, USA is not geared to that kind of thinking. Anti-Cambridge, anti-intellectual. It is.
Aren't you fed up with it?
I'm totally fed up with it. I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Do you think if we were living in Montana?
I don't think you have to go that far.
Do you think, what I'm saying is, we lived outside of the urban, competitive,
I just want to be within commuting distance of my little classroom. That's all I want. I want that peace. I want to be able to commute in, and then I want to go... I don't know. I want to go back to an apple orchard. The point is, I can see a life of, my little classroom and my little students who I can turn on and excite and ignite, and no bullshit that I have to put up with at that place. I have no bullshit. They are good people. That's unheard of in academia.
At the clinic, we realized there was just too much ambivalence to go through an abortion. Previously, we had been told that any manipulation of the cervix, as in an abortion, would increase Bev's chances of another premature birth. Bev's profession had been devoted to work with handicapped children, and we were overly sensitized to the incidence of Down syndrome, brain damage and miscarriage in late 30s pregnancies. At the bottom line, Bev said that it was too difficult to take a life after she had nurtured a life for a year.
Teeny little bit.
Here we go.
She's just got to tape it down to get a little test. It's nothing to worry about yet. You still feel your another 10 minutes or so.
Sure, and it's going to work more evenly. That's my husband.
So we've been kind of sitting all day waiting for it to happen.
I know.
It's a riot. I mean, it was a very anxious time. We'd go out for a walk, and come in, and go out for another walk, come in. And then around 5, I started getting little rumblings. And then about 7, it started becoming very regular, and then we were here by about 8:30, I guess. Blair went to sleep early, thank goodness. And I'm feeling nauseous again.
What if it is a girl? What are we going to do?
I don't know. It will be nameless for a while until we can get our act together. Should we call it something just in the meantime?
Wilhelmina?
Gertrude. Was that interesting watching the epidural go in?
It was fascinating.
It was.
Yeah, I thought that you'd be interested in seeing it also.
But I don't know.
No?
I don't have the stomach.
Bev wants the blanket brought as far up as it possibly can go so she can't look over it.
I want to see the baby after the baby comes out. I just don't want to see all the rest that goes with it. It's funny how people have different stomachs for different things. I mean, some people are such troopers. I don't know. I'm a real... In the nursery.
Big baby.
He says 7 pounds.
Mine. That's 3 times the size of Blair.
Okay. Fine. Go ahead.
Are you folks all right?
Yeah, we're all set.
Ouch, the side was
All right, Beverly? Fine, Mary. Good. I'm just going to keep my eyes closed. Helps me to relax.
The table raised a little bit.
Mary? Okay. Just fine. All right?
Well, this is going to be a little,
right here.
a little wet. I don't know whether you'll feel it. Pickups. With Chief. Thank you. Help with this? That's great. Thank you.
Come here, did somebody? Yes. They're going to push the baby out, so they're going to push from above quite a bit. But don't get excited. Just a push, okay? All right. Here we go. Okay. Coming. We're just going to head out.
Whatever it is, it's cute. Cords around the neck twice. Oh my gosh. There we go.
Suck it, Susan.
A little one.
Oh, only the head is out. We don't know yet. What kind of little one we have there.
Oh my word, honey. This is incredible.
Oh, terrific.
It's a boy. Oh my word.
Oh, it's a boy. Hello, little guy.
Oh, honey.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Look at that, eh? Where are we going?
Oh.
A little boy.
Oh, he's a big boy.
You want to see a little one? Dee, what am I saying?
Hello. Hi. Hi, it's all right. Everything's gonna be okay.
Hello, little minion. Little cutie. Hi, darling. Hi, darling. You're a trooper. Being wrenched from that cozy environment.
Cute, huh? Yeah.
You got big lips. What's this little blue hood? Is that his outfit?
Just keep him warm.
Oh.
I guess.
Testing.
Hello, little
You
one.
opening your eyes? There's your mommy.
Hi, darling.
Hello.
Oh, it's such a bright world.
Bucket?
We're going to have to back up. Okay, you grab the foot of the bed. You can...
Debbie?
Oh, good, Will. That was real good. Right in there. He's been forgetting how to do it. He can find it, but he forgets to nurse. That was good. So much fun. Little Will. Little Will. Little Will. Oh, it's so funny. He has different rhythms. I know when he's just gaming, and then when he's seriously drinking, he has another rhythm altogether. I'm not going to do it.
Is that the gulp gulp?
Yeah.
Well, show me how he does when he's gaming.
No, you want me to?
Yeah, sure.
When he's gaming, he'll go. And then stop for a minute, and then he'll go. When he's serious, he goes. It's like a pump. It's like.
What's he doing now?
He's serious. Look at this. Dum dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum dum. I mean, it's very rhythmic. In earnest. Little Will. Oh, it was so much fun to be able to breastfeed.
We didn't do it with Blair.
No.
There she is.
Hi.
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 She's wondering why Isabel's watching her.
Around the corner so I won't distract her.
Okay. Blair, want to come and see your brother?
Want to come see baby Will?
Want to come and see Willie?
Come and see baby Will. Hi. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, you got daddy's shoe. Got daddy's shoe. Where's the shoe? Where's the shoe? There's the shoe. That's the shoe. Want to come see baby Will? Come see baby. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hello. Oh, I love you. Ah, the waste paper basket. Haunt of all haunts. Come over here and look at this little boy. No, no, better things to do, Ma. Good, walking, darling, good.
Hi. Hi. Hi, honey. There we go.
What's that funny eye?
What's that doing? You look so funny. No. No, Blair, go see Mommy.
Go see Mommy. What do you mean, go see Mommy?
Well, because he's getting fingerprints on the
No,
line. Back to the wastebasket. More interesting material
Yeah.
in there. Oh, Blair, don't touch that. No. No.
Come on, sweetheart.
No, Blair. It's okay, Isabel.
You want me to watch?
No, she's fine. We're just playing.
Okay. Did you whistle? Did I hear you whistle? I'm gonna just give your little face a wash, okay, sweetheart? There. Oh. There. Did you brush your teeth this morning? You hear Blair? You hear Blair making sound? And did you hear the babies cry last night? Did you hear the babies cry? Did you hear the babies? A kiss? All right, a kiss. Beetle. Beetle. Beetle, beetle. Do you love me? Why? Right? Right, right. I love you too. Hey, your hair looks much nicer. Hello. Hello.
Food. There, Mary Blair's going.
Oh. Goodbye, sweetie. Good boy, Beth. Oh, can I have a kiss?
Kisses.
Kisses. Have a nice time. Good boy, Beth. Goodbye, sweetie. Want to say goodbye to Blair?
Oh, let's say goodbye.
Want to say goodbye to Blair? Blair's right here. Goodbye, Blair. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Blair.
Goodbye. That's Mary Blair's mouth and nose. That's Mary Blair's mouth and nose. Right, right, right. She's saying goodbye to you.
She's saying goodbye, honey.
You have a nice time at Blaine Manor, sweetheart.
Goodbye, Mary Blair.
Goodbye, baby.
Good to see you again.
We'll get your suitcase. Where is your suitcase?
Oh, it's in her room.
Yes.
Can you manage? We're saying goodbye to Mary Blair.
Okay, honey, you sit right here. Here we go, darling.
Sit down. Bye, Beetle. Good boy, Beth.
Sit down again. I'll tell you what, I got this one right here.
Bye-bye. You say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice time at Blaine Manor, sweetheart.
David, dear, if you have time, could you put the trash cans in there for me?
Sure, Mom.
I forgot to do it.